Hey everybody. So in my last video I left off talking about the next decision I needed to make with regards to medicine. Because I had failed Oxycol, I had failed 6-MP, my next two choices were Humira and Remicade. I ended up choosing Remicade, so I started that in April of this year, and pretty much in my mind at that time I had figured that if the Remicade was going to work, then I reluctantly was going to stay on it as long as it would work. I say reluctantly because it is an immunosuppressant, because the idea is that Crohn's and colitis and other forms of IBD are autoimmune diseases, so your immune system is kind of going haywire and attacking what it's not supposed to be attacking. So the immunosuppressant kind of shuts that down a little bit. The side effect, though, is that you can get sick pretty easily because your immune system is suppressed. So you're supposed to do regular blood work and be very careful around sick people. So in my mind, I was willing to do that for the rest of my life if I had to, if it would take away my symptoms. If it wasn't going to, in my mind, was pretty much done with all these medicines and stuff. So I really didn't want to try Humira. My GI could have said, let's try Humira next, because even though some people fail one, they might do okay on the other. But I was pretty much reaching the end of my road with battling my colon. So at that time I started to research what it was going to mean to have my colon taken out and what the options were, things like that. So, but before all that, I started Remicade in April of this year, and basically I would go to the infusion clinic at Tripler. It was a really small room. I guess they don't do that many infusions. Because it's pretty small. It only had like maybe 3 chairs. I know some places have like they're really big rooms, but anyway, pretty small there. One nurse, she was really cool. Her name's Natalie. She was awesome, and so I got my loading doses, which helps build up the medicine in your system. So I got an infusion at week 0, one at week 2, one at week 6, and then I was supposed to go every 8 weeks after that. That's like the normal interval you do with Remicade. Sometimes people, when they notice that their symptoms are coming back before their next infusion, might get it bumped up to every 6. So basically I was going to start with the standard interval. So I felt amazing in April, May, June. I felt really good, so good that I started to taper off the prednisone, because the idea was that we would find a medicine that would control my ulcerative colitis and then get off the steroids, because you don't want to be on the steroids. So started to tapered really slow because my body is really sensitive, so I just figured I would go, most people go at like 10 milligrams a week, I was going to go at maybe 5, and if I started to have problems, I would slow even, or I would go even slower to maybe 2.5 per week or something. So I got down to about 30 milligrams, and I started to notice my symptoms were coming back in July of this year, and I was trying to not think about it, because in my mind, what that meant was that it wasn't working, possibly, and that I was going to need surgery. So I just stayed at 30 milligrams and stopped tapering just to see if it was, maybe I was just going too fast or something. So a couple weeks went by and I was getting worse and worse, so I called my GI and he said, I know you don't want to, but go back up to 40 milligrams and we'll bump up your interval of Remicade every 6 weeks instead of 8. So call your infusion nurse and schedule your next infusion early. So I was like, okay. So I called and she said that she could give me one on August 1st. So I went in, got the infusion, and in my mind, if I didn't see a result within a week, I was pretty much going to wave the white flag and call it quits with medicine, because I was sick of yo-yoing to feeling kind of okay and then being horrible. So because at this point I had gone back to 25 to 30 bowel movements a day with all the blood and the pain and everything that came with it. When I first started Remicade, it was working, and I was down to maybe 1 almost solid bowel movement in the morning, which for me it was awesome. It was a huge improvement. So so yeah, did the infusion on August 1st, didn't see an improvement at all. It was like I hadn't done anything. So I was supposed to start checking out of my command because I was supposed to get out of the Navy on August 21st. So on August 5th I was supposed to start the checkout process, and I actually just packed a bag because I was pretty sure I was going to be admitted. Packed a bag and had my husband drive me to Tripler to the ER, and then got admitted, and then consulted with the surgical team. They wanted, well, everybody wanted to know my story, so it wasn't just a surgical team, it was just a possibility I was going to have surgery, so I talked to them, I talked to a new GI to get another opinion. The GI that I talked to wanted to do a colonoscopy and endoscopy to just see what was going on. They put me on bowel rest, so I was NPO for 17 days while I was there, which meant no drinks, no food, nothing by mouth, that's what it means. So I eventually had a PICC line inserted, which is, it's when they put mine was in my left arm, I guess they're usually in your right, but mine was in my left. I had a better vein there, I guess. So it didn't hurt, which is good. So if any of you are going to have that done or have ever wondered, it doesn't really hurt. It hurts when they first put the hole there to thread the actual, it's technically a catheter. So when they go to put that in, it kind of hurts a little bit. But not when they're threading it in, because you actually don't have any feeling in your veins, which I didn't know that, never thought about that before, but they told me, they were like, don't worry, it's not going to hurt as we put it in. So that's what I was most worried about, was that as they're sticking this, tube in that's supposed to drip into my heart, that was going to hurt, but it doesn't. So I had that, and that's how I got my nutrition, was from a big white bag. It was white liquid. Every day at like 5 they changed it out. It smelled horrible. It smelled like dog food. It was pretty gross. But that was my nutrition, because I wasn't eating or drinking. They wanted to give my colon a rest to see if that would help a little bit, maybe. I was still going maybe 8 to 12 times per day, and like 4 to 6 times at night, even though I wasn't eating or drinking anything, which your colon still sloughs off like mucus, and there's like bile and things like that. So I was still having the urgency. I couldn't really hold it in, so I always had to take my pole, my IV pole with everything, into the bathroom, which kind of sucked. So we did the colonoscopy and the endoscopy. They found thrush in my mouth and esophagus because I was on steroids and an immunosuppressant. I developed that. I guess it's a lot easier for your body to have thrush when your immune system is suppressed. So I didn't know it was all that down my esophagus, so I wasn't having any symptoms. I did see it on my tongue, though. I had these white patches, and basically my oral surgeon said, you're just going to have to live with it. As long as you're on Remicade, it's just going to be a part of your life. So I was like, cool. That was not too cool. So they gave me some medicine to clear that up. Another thing they found during the colonoscopy was that the ulcerative colitis had traveled so far up my colon that it had started to erode or started to affect the end of my small intestines, which at first my GI thought maybe it was Crohn's, because EUC just stays in your colon mostly. Crohn's is the one that can be anywhere in your digestive tract. So that kind of freaked me out for a few days, until they pretty much came to the decision or the conclusion that it was still ulcerative colitis, but with backwash ileitis is what they call it. So that was crazy. A few days I was really worried because basically if it was Crohn's, they didn't want to do the surgery right away, at least. Because in Crohn's, if you were to take out the whole colon, it could just move to another organ, and you can only have so many surgeries, you can only take out so many organs in your digestive tract. So I think they really try to avoid cutting as much as possible when you have Crohn's. But like I said, they decided that it was still ulcerative colitis, and that we could still go ahead with the surgery if that's what I wanted and if that's what the surgeon agreed with. So we were waiting for him to come back from leave. He did come back from leave finally, I think around like the 14th or something, and they scheduled surgery for the 21st of August, which was supposed to be my last day in the military. So I was like, creepy, but maybe it was meant to be. So that was crazy. I did finally meet the surgeon, finally, after like 2.5 weeks. Everybody had talked him up and said he was really awesome, and he really was. He is such a great guy. His attitude is awesome, the way he works with patients, the way he explains things, and he's just a really talented surgeon. He did great. His whole team was really good. My husband and I loved everybody on their team. We loved the GI. We pretty much loved everybody there. Like, everyone was cool. The nurses were cool. Everyone was awesome. So it was a pretty good experience in that aspect. So after finally meeting the surgeon, I needed to make the decision if I wanted to get the J pouch and have everything reconnected inside me later on, or if I just wanted them to do one surgery, take everything out, and have a permanent ileostomy, or like the permanent bag for the rest of my life. And it was funny because I feel like I had kind of already made my decision before even talking to anyone. I had made it months before. It just hit me one day, you know, after I had been reading people's stories and experiences, that if I ever had to make that decision, if I ever was facing surgery, that for me personally, what fit with my lifestyle was that I wanted to have the colon taken out, all of it, and to have the bag permanently. So, and it's a very personal decision, you know, there's so many factors that come into it. For me, part of it was that I just didn't want to deal with any more issues with any part of my colon ever again. And for them to do the reconnection, they have to leave part of your rectum behind. And as aggressive as my UC was, I could just see it attacking, you know, that end of my colon, even though it was only like this much, which can cause issues with your pouch and things like that. I mean, it could have been perfect. I could have had the J pouch and could have lived the rest of my life with no problems, who knows. But I was not willing to even take the chance of having any issues. I was done running to the bathroom. I was done with shitting myself in public. I was done with all that stuff. I didn't want it to ever happen again in any way, shape, or form. So to me, surgery was the end. So he didn't want me to tell him his decision just yet, though. That the day that he met me, he said, think about it for a few days. I think he could see in my face that I wanted to say what I wanted, but he wanted me to think about it, and that's fine. So I talked it over with Christopher for a couple of days in the hospital, and the surgeon actually visited me every day that he was there and just kind of gave me, you know, little tidbits here and there of what we would do possibly, but he never told me what he would do. He didn't want to sway me in any way. He just wanted me to come to the decision on my own. So finally, I told him a few days later that I was ready to let him know what I wanted. And when I told him that I wanted the total colectomy with a permanent ileostomy, he smiled so big and was like, that's exactly what I would do if I was in your situation. And I just felt so at peace with my decision. It helped so much that he agreed, you know, because this is a guy that was going to be cutting me open and doing all this. So he was willing to try either way, you know, whatever I wanted. But I was so pleased that he agreed. And because he's so smart, I was like, well, if he thinks that's the right thing to do and I feel like it's right, then I guess I am doing the right thing. So we scheduled the surgery for August 21st. That was supposed to be my last day in the military. Finally, the morning came, and I wasn't as nervous as I thought I was going to be. I thought I was going to be a basket case, but I was actually pretty calm. Of course, I was a little bit nervous, but not as nervous as I was expecting. There was one part I'll always remember. Hopefully I don't get too emotional. There was one part I'll always remember, though. Sitting in the hallway, I was in the wheelchair that they were going to wheel me to the OR in. It was really quiet because it was really early in the morning. They had scheduled my surgery for early in the morning, I think around 7. That's when the shift change happened with the nurses. And I had been there for so long, I had gotten to know pretty much all of them. And I'm sitting there with my back to the hallway as they're getting my paperwork together. And a bunch of nurses were leaving. The night nurses were leaving at 7 in the morning. And all of a sudden I felt all these pats on my back and people saying good luck, and even the what is she called, the head nurse, I don't know, she's in the military, but I forget what she's called. Anyway, she was in charge of the whole floor, but even she was there and knew my story and knew my situation and stuff, and knew that I was heading for surgery, and it was just so cool. I felt so good. That was the only time I cried. I was expecting to be crying like all morning, you know, being so nervous, and that really really made me feel really good. I felt happy. Those guys were awesome. Just the fact that they really did care and wanted me to do well. So that was cool. That was exciting. I was tearing up, and then there was a moment where I thought, this is finally it. Like, I was so excited that I was crying because I was excited. And Christopher was looking at me like, are you okay? You know, and I was just like, it's okay, I'm actually excited. These are excited tears, not sad or scared or anything like that. So I remember being in the OR waiting room. Like, there's this room where everyone kind of gathers. The patients that are going to have surgery all gather before they go into the OR. And I had to go, oh, screw my colon. I had to go like 5 times as I was sitting there waiting, and it was so annoying and embarrassing. Even though I was in a hospital, I shouldn't have been embarrassed. It just was, because I felt like I was such a pain in the ass, because I was already all hooked up, ready to go, and I would have to like flag a nurse down and have them unhook me as quickly as they could, and I had to be escorted to the bathroom. It was just so aggravating. So I was like, even up to the last like seconds before I had my colon out, I was fighting with this colon, so I was just so ready to have it done. So finally they gave me a little bit of something, I forget, maybe it was fentanyl or something close to that, to kind of like calm me down and make me feel loopy, and I felt really loopy, and they wheeled me away, and I said goodbye to Chris, and they put the epidural in, because that was going to be how we were going to manage the pain. So they put the epidural in, they laid me down. I was at this point in the operating room, and I laid down, and then somebody said something about this isn't the gas yet, but breathe in anyway. And so I was thinking, okay. And so I was breathing in. Maybe it's to keep people calm. Maybe people freak out more when they know they're about to go to sleep. I would have been fine either way. So they were like, breathe in a bunch of deep breaths, and that's the last thing I remember. And then the next time I woke up, I was, it was like maybe 2 or 3 in the morning the next day. And it was pretty weird. I was kind of in and out of it all night. The epidural kind of caused issues, so they ended up having to take that out the next morning. It was making my blood pressure drop too low, so we ended up going with the pain pump instead of the epidural. So whenever I would need pain medicine, I would just hit the pump. And I was on Dilaudid. They ended up having to give me 2 bags of blood too, because they thought that maybe that was part of the reason why my blood pressure was so low too, is maybe I had lost too much blood or something. So I got 2 bags of blood while I was in they call it the PACU. It's not really the ICU. It's kind of like an ICU, but they call it the PACU. So I was there for about 3 days. The next day after surgery, I was walking. It was really hard, but I had read from some friends on a forum that I'm on that I needed to walk as soon as possible. So with that in mind, I was like, well, I'm just going to buck up and try it. So they got me a walker. I looked like a granny. And I was really nauseous when I first stood up. And I had all these things sticking out of me. I had my bag, and I had a catheter for pee, and then, you know, the PICC line with all these lines and things. It was a lot to carry, but they gave me some medicine to not feel nauseous, because I felt really nauseous when I stood up. And I just had Chris help me get up. He was so helpful, and he carried all my stuff for me, and we just did a couple laps. And then I went back to bed exhausted, but I felt happy because I walked. And then I think later that night, my ostomy made a noise, and that's kind of, you know, one of the things you got to check off the list to be able to get out of the hospital, is that you have to have some activity in your digestive tract. And so my ostomy farted, which was so funny to me. I was all by myself. Chris had left for the day, because you can't stay the night with someone who's in the PACU. So he was just coming during the day and then leaving at night and coming back the next morning. So I was just sitting there, and it farted, and it was just the funniest thing. I don't know how to describe it. It's just, it meant that I could eat, which you know, like I said, I'd been NPO for almost 3 weeks, so I could finally start eating. It was liquids, but it was awesome. And things started working. My back was working. So I think that's where I'm going to leave off for this video. I'm going to go more in depth with the surgery and what I was told happened and recovery and stuff in my next video. So if you have any questions about any of that, you know, surgery, recovery, all that stuff, definitely comment or message me, and I will answer them in the next video. I'm noticing that even though the surgery was only like 2 months ago, that I'm already kind of forgetting things. So it's a lot easier if you guys, if you want something specific answered, or you're curious about something specific, just comment or message me, because I might forget. Hopefully I don't, but I just might. So, but yeah, I think that's about it. So like this video if you liked it. definitely share it with someone you think might benefit from it, or maybe is facing the same situation or something, or just share it to share it if you want. That's cool with me. But I just want as many people to see it as possible. So hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.